Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Guys, that first sip, I'll tell you what. Do you know? Most of the time, when I come out here and you see me take that first sip of my coffee in the morning, I'm taking it with you. Do you know that? And that's why you get this big because boy, sometimes my first sip is shared with you, and I really enjoy doing that. That is for sure. Well, guys, it is Friday, and of course, Friday means it's the weekend, and I sure hope you're going to have a fabulous one with your family this week. And I'll tell you what. Well, guys, the article that I was reading today, it really touched me quite deeply, actually, right down in my heart, and I'll tell you why. This article was about, the average savings that a lot of Americans have. And in it, it was talking about 27% of Americans have $1,000 for any kind of emergency or even under that. And 12% have absolutely no savings at all. So what, 39%, practically 40% of the population doesn't even have any kind of savings for any kind of crisis. And I thought, my goodness, how heartbreaking that has to be. Because remember, guys, everyone has, events that happen in life, when your kids have a birthday or an event happens and you'd love to take your family out and do something like that, and they just don't have it to do. And it really kind of causes me to grieve, and I'll tell you why. Look at what happened with these industrial powers around the world. And I'm talking like after World War II, and you got like Great Britain and Germany out there. And look I've been to Australia, and what a powerful nation that they built for themselves there. And of course, Canada, the US, and other countries around the world that have done some amazing things. And the hard-working, blue-collar folks that went out there and really put their hand to the plow and to the hammer to really build out these countries. And you think, where is the real benefit? My dad, he was a truck driver his whole life. My mom literally worked at Country Style Donuts. You know what? We were real poor. We grew up poor, but I'll tell you what, I never grew up feeling poor. Not one day did I ever feel that I was poor, because my parents always seemed to have a little bit to make it such a joy to grow up. And I really love my mom and dad for that hard work and ethic that they had, and they invested it in all of us kids, each and every one of us, my brothers, my sisters. Powerful difference. And there's families out there that are doing that today, and yet they can't even barely make it. And it's because of a lot of these, look at the absolute obscene profits that some of these big businesses, and I'm not against big business. I am not against entrepreneurial spirit and going out there and really building something that really brings some amazing wealth into people's lives and literally provides jobs for all this and that. But you got the working poor, people that are out there working their full heads off and just getting further and further and further behind. And it is absolutely obscene, and there's really no need for it, because you got the government over here literally borrowing from the future. And who are they borrowing it from when they do that, guys? They're borrowing it from you, me, and our kids. $4 trillion for 4 years. $4 trillion. And there we read an article not too long ago that the national debt for the United States in 1970 was only $370 million. That's all it was. And here we are, 2023, with a debt load of over $31 trillion, and they're borrowing $4 trillion more for just a year and a half's worth of spending. And yet, people that are hardworking, out there trying to save a little bit of cash, are literally getting decimated. And by the way, it says a lot about what's happening in our economy, guys. It is not like, things are going to get looking at. What a bunch of hogwash. And this is going on around the entire world, whether you are in Great Britain, Germany, Australia, Canada, the US, or all kinds of other nations around the earth. It seems like this wealth gap is just getting seriously out of balance. And guys, that is very, very concerning, because people will only take that for so long before you see some real kind of pushback and results. And look at what's going on in the world. I mean, you're not even getting it on mainstream news about what's really happening in some of these places around the world where people are literally having enough of it. You know what I mean? And this is where we got to be strategic. Look, I know it's so tough, but you got to learn. We have all got to learn. Sometimes, you know what? I remember a time in my life, and I was really struggling. Gee whiz. I remember Judy and I, the days when we could literally, and I've said this before, only afford to buy one tomato at a time. Don't think that I don't have that sense that I've been touched by that kind of reality in my life. And I remember feeling at that time, look, you got to keep hope alive. You got to start somewhere, right? And I would start small and build and slowly build and build. It took Judy and I over a decade to save, a decent amount of money. And then when we entered into this space, boy, I'll tell you what, we were really taking that risk, putting it all on the line and that type of thing. It really revolutionized our lives. And you got people like poo-pooing, the price of some of these assets right now, thinking, oh, it's going nowhere, this, and this, and not realizing, look, there's folks out there that right now, hey, they are so happy and so glad to be picking up these things at under 50 cents and being able to just slowly dollar cost average and accumulate, a certain size of bag that they can handle. And hey, guys, don't despise the day of small beginnings. And remember this, I love the story of the feeding of the 5,000. There, they had no food. Little boy shows up. His mom had packed him a lunch. 2 barley loaves and I think 5 small fish or something to that effect. And Jesus took that and literally multiplied it. And when Judy and I were entering into this space initially, and we felt like, look, we only have so much. It doesn't seem like a whole lot. How much difference is it really going to make? We literally would encourage ourselves by saying just this, loaves and fishes, loaves and fishes. Guys, don't give up hope. I know it's really difficult. I know there's people that are out there watching this program that are hurting. And I'm going to tell you what, my heart is there. I know what that feels like. But don't give up hope. I know what it feels like. And like the scripture says, a flickering wick he will not snuff out, nor will he break a bruised reed. I remember that feeling where I felt like I was just this flickering wick and I could be just snuffed out just like that. And I'll tell you what, Holy Spirit came into my life and he fanned that into a flame and turned something around that was impossible any other way. I have watched it happen. God's no respecter of persons. What he's done for others, he can do for you. That is my encouragement. Keep your hope alive. But boy, what a telltale article about how really bad things are right now. But you got all these, it's almost like Marie Antoinette, when she was out there, oh, well, let them eat cake kind of deal. They're just so disassociated with the true rank and file and what's really going on and that kind of thing that it's literally obscene when you hear some of the comments that these big politicians make. And I'm talking about all these ones out there, on Capitol Hill and all that kind of stuff. I don't care what side of the aisle. I think a lot of them are just so way out of touch. We need to be out there in this community. Let's encourage one another. And by the way, having said that, I want to say, you guys are the best community. When I say the best community in all of crypto, I genuinely mean it. There is no flattery intended whatsoever. I have really read the comments and the encouragement and things like that, and people not eviscerating one another. Yeah, you're going to get the few naysayers in there and all this and that, but it's not the majority of folks. And I'll tell you what, we need that. We need that so desperately. Get next to somebody and encourage them. Look, I'll tell you what, an encouraging word costs so little, but the dividends that it pays, wow, amazing. You wouldn't believe how much a smile could make the difference in somebody's life. I kid you not. And it doesn't cost us barely anything to say a kind word or to deliver a smile, and especially in the members of our own household, right? Because there's lots of parents, I'm going to tell you, they think they know what's going on in their teenage kids' lives or their, 20-some-year-olds' lives, only to find out that the kid is suffering with some great depression and feels so lonely. And so can't remember the last time they got a genuine, God-loving hug out of somebody in their life. Guys, go out there, encourage one another. As spouses, just tell them, hey, look, you know what? I really like that about you. And stuff like that. And look, sometimes we just get so busy in life, we really just forget to do that. And hey, your neighbor there at work, I mean, come on, you can just say, hey, Bob, glad to see you here today. Really, something easy. Guys, let's be sowers of hope in the world, and especially in this space. Look, don't forget about the price day to day. Look at the fundamentals going down the road. What's it going to do to really revolutionize and change the way the world works? Get encouraged by that. And don't, like I say, despise the day of small beginnings, because a little bit, I'm telling you what, can make a whole world of difference, a big difference. Judy and I saw that happen in our own lives. It really happened, guys. And you're not hearing it, oh, my brother-in-law's brother-in-law kind of stuff. No, 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 no. It happened to us. Here we are to tell the tale. I cannot wait till I can hear stories from other folks in this next run, how they got in and they just held on, they trusted, they believed, and their lives were transformed. I cannot wait. And I know those stories are coming. And maybe down the road, you're going to hear somebody else out there on YouTube that's going to get out there like we did. Hey, I was only doing it, guys, because of driving Judy crazy in my retirement. That's how this YouTube channel started. They're going to get out there and they're going to start telling their story. And boy, I'll tell you what, hopefully it gets out there and people get encouraged. That's my hope anyway. Well, guys, I sure hope you're having a fantastic Friday. And until later on, I hope, I'm going to have a great video out there for you. I hope you have a great one until then, and take care.